You see, life has a way of testing you when you least expect it. Not with loud chaos, not with fanfare, but in silence. The quiet moments are where your character is measured, your patience stretched, and your strength exposed. After silence, he tests you quietly, and it's not a game, it's the ultimate test. But here's the truth. You don't have to scream to be heard. You don't have to fight to be strong. There is a way to win this silent battle, and I'm going to show you how. When the world goes quiet, most people panic. They scramble to fill the void with distractions, meaningless chatter, or actions that only mask their insecurity. Silence, they think, is weakness. They mistake stillness for emptiness and uncertainty for failure. But the truth is, the moments of silence are where your real character is exposed. It is here, in these quiet stretches of life, where the loud applause and the external validations are absent, that strength is tested most honestly. You cannot fake resilience in silence. You cannot bluff courage when no one is watching. The quiet strips you down, revealing your raw self, the unpolished, unguarded, and unfiltered version of who you are. And if you survive this, if you endure it, you emerge stronger than any external challenge could ever make you. Silence forces you to confront your fears without escape. When there is no one to distract you, no noise to drown out your thoughts, your insecurities rise to the surface like waves in a still ocean. Maybe it's the fear of failure, the fear of being forgotten, or the fear of not being enough. These are not weaknesses. They are signals. They are the whispers that demand attention, the quiet alarms urging you to take responsibility for your growth. Most people run from these moments, rushing into action or numbing the discomfort. But the strong sit, breathe, and face these fears head on. They look them in the eye, study them, and understand that these fears are not enemies, they are teachers, and in that quiet confrontation, strength begins to take root. In the silence, you discover the power of reflection. The world outside will often be chaotic, pushing you to react, to perform, to prove yourself constantly. But silence strips away the noise and allows your mind to organize itself. You have the space to think, to analyze, and to plan with clarity. This is the kind of clarity you cannot find in the rush of constant interaction or the demands of constant attention. Reflection in silence sharpens judgment, teaches humility, and builds wisdom. It gives you the ability to see not only what you want, but also the path you must walk to achieve it. Strength, after all, is not only about endurance. It is about understanding and acting from a place of knowledge, not impulse. Silence also tests your patience like nothing else can. Life's quiet trials are rarely immediate in their lessons. They do not come with instructions or deadlines, and the results are not instant. You may sit in quiet for days, months, or even years, feeling as though nothing is happening, as though you are stagnating. This is the trap most people fall into. They give up, frustrated by the lack of visible progress. But those who grow strong in silence understand that this is the forging process. Just as metal becomes harder and more resilient after enduring fire, patience in quiet cultivates endurance, perseverance, and inner power. To master silence is to master time itself, to understand that strength is cultivated slowly, deliberately, and without the applause of the crowd. Another dimension of strength revealed in silence is self-reliance. When no one is watching, when no one is there to cheer, advise, or rescue, you are forced to depend solely on yourself. Your ideas, your decisions, your courage, and your determination become the only tools you have. This is a lesson that cannot be taught in the noise of success or the chaos of external validation. It is learned in isolation, in the quiet where every choice falls squarely on your shoulders. And when you emerge from that silence, self-reliant and confident, you carry a strength that no external force can shake, a quiet, unshakable confidence rooted in the knowledge that you are enough, and you have endured enough to handle whatever comes next. Finally, silence teaches the subtle art of restraint. In quiet, you learn that not every action requires a reaction, not every insult needs a response, and not every moment needs to be filled. The strong understand that power is not measured by noise, by the number of people who witness your struggle or applaud your success. True strength is measured by your ability to maintain integrity, to remain focused, and to control yourself when there is no external accountability. In silence, you are tested not for what you can achieve quickly, but for what you can sustain quietly, deliberately, and with unwavering resolve. And it is in this quiet mastery over oneself that real power is born, the kind of power that cannot be taken, diminished, or ignored. Patience is not simply waiting. Most people mistake patience for passivity, as if sitting silently means doing nothing. But true patience is an active, deliberate force. It is the quiet power that allows you to endure, observe, and prepare while others rush headlong into chaos. When life tests you quietly, impatience is your enemy. Every hasty decision, every rushed action, every attempt to force an outcome only exposes your weaknesses. But when you cultivate patience, you develop a kind of inner discipline that sharpens every other quality you possess. Patience is the sword in your hand that never dulls, the shield that never breaks, and the quiet confidence that ensures you will strike at the exact right moment. Patience teaches you timing, and timing is everything. The strongest people are never in a hurry. They understand that the universe moves at its own pace, and that forcing events only leads to disaster. Imagine a clock. Every tick is precise, deliberate, and essential. Skip a tick, and the mechanism falters. Patience allows you to move in harmony with life's rhythm rather than against it. It trains you to wait for the perfect opportunity, the exact moment when your action will have maximum effect. This is what separates those who succeed from those who burn out in frustration, reacting to every minor challenge rather than calmly mastering the bigger picture. Patience is also a test of resilience. Waiting is rarely easy. It exposes doubt, fear, and insecurity like nothing else can. When everything seems stagnant, when the silence presses in on you, when progress feels invisible, impatience whispers lies into your ear. It tells you that you are failing, that time is against you, that you need to act now or lose everything. But patience requires that you stand firm against that voice. It requires that you trust yourself and the process. It is in resisting the urge to rush, in enduring the discomfort of stillness, that your mental and emotional strength grows. Each moment of patience is a brick in the foundation of unshakable character. Patience allows for clarity in decision making. When you are not reacting impulsively, your mind is free to observe, analyze, and strategize. The quiet trials of life often provide subtle clues and signals, but these are easy to miss when you are impatient or agitated. By cultivating patience, you become an observer, noticing what others overlook. You can anticipate challenges before they arrive, make calculated moves, and respond with precision rather than panic. Patience is not inactivity, it is preparation. It transforms waiting into an opportunity to gain knowledge, insight, and power that will make your eventual action far more effective. Patience also builds empathy and understanding. When you are not desperate to act, you can listen, learn, and see beyond your own immediate perspective. In the silence, in the quiet spaces between events, you begin to understand people, situations, and even yourself on a deeper level. You see motives, intentions, and consequences that others miss in their rush to react. This understanding allows you to approach challenges with wisdom, to navigate conflicts with composure, and to make choices that honor both your goals and your values. Patience, in this sense, is not just a weapon. It is a lens that allows you to see the battlefield clearly before stepping onto it. Finally, patience ensures that when your moment comes, your power is unstoppable. Those who act without patience often strike too early, too weakly, or in the wrong direction. But those who endure, who wait, who cultivate quiet strength, strike with precision, force, and inevitability. Life's silent test is designed to separate the impulsive from the prepared, the desperate from the disciplined. By mastering patience, you gain an advantage that cannot be countered. Your actions will not be hurried or sloppy. They will be deliberate, confident, and devastatingly effective. In the silent battle, patience is your greatest weapon, and in wielding it, you become almost untouchable. Composure is the quiet armor that shields you from the chaos of life. When the world is loud, unpredictable, and full of challenges, those who lose their calm are exposed. They reveal their weaknesses, their doubts, their fears. But true strength is not measured by how loudly you fight or how quickly you react. It is measured by your ability to remain steady when everything around you is in turmoil. Composure is the power to maintain control over your mind, your emotions, and your actions, even when no one else can. It is the skill that separates leaders from followers, victors from victims. In the silent trials of life, composure is your most valuable asset. Composure begins with self-awareness. You cannot control what you do not understand about yourself. In moments of pressure, you are confronted with your true nature, your impulses, your triggers, your hidden insecurities. Those who act without composure are slaves to these impulses. They lash out, panic, or crumble. But those who master themselves can observe these reactions without being consumed by them. They understand their emotions, they acknowledge their fears, and they choose their responses deliberately. Composure is not suppression, it is mastery. It is the ability to navigate intense situations with clarity and dignity, no matter what the silence around you is trying to reveal. The quiet tests life throws at you are designed to provoke reactions. Someone may challenge you with words, actions, or even betrayal, hoping to see you lose control. Composure allows you to rise above these provocations. By keeping calm, you deny your challengers the satisfaction of seeing you falter. You move like a shadow, fervent, patient, and untouchable. Every reaction you withhold is a victory. Every measured response demonstrates a strength that others cannot match. In the silent arena, composure becomes your invisible advantage, the one no one sees coming, yet the one that guarantees you will endure and ultimately triumph. Composure also amplifies your influence. People are naturally drawn to calmness in a storm. When everyone around is panicking, the composed individual stands out, not with noise, but with presence. This presence commands respect, attention, and authority. You do not need to shout to lead. You do not need to fight to control. Your quiet confidence, your steady demeanor, and your unshakable poise make others follow you naturally. Composure becomes magnetic. It attracts allies, commands trust, and creates space for you to act strategically rather than react impulsively. Moreover, composure protects your mind. Life's silent tests are often subtle but relentless. They challenge your patience, your judgment, and your resilience. Without composure, these pressures can cloud your thinking, distort your perception, and lead to poor decisions. But composure creates clarity. It allows you to assess every situation logically, to weigh every option carefully, and to act with precision. The ability to stay composed under pressure is not just about surviving. It is about making your survival meaningful. It ensures that when the time comes to move, you strike with intelligence, not desperation. Finally, mastering composure is mastering freedom. When you are composed, you are free from the chains of your own emotions, the manipulations of others, and the chaos of circumstances. You become the calm center in the storm, the unshakable force that no challenge can destabilize. Composure allows you to navigate the silent tests of life with strategy, patience, and power. It is not just a skill, it is a way of being. And when you master it, you understand a truth few ever grasp. The world may be loud, harsh, and unforgiving, but your inner calm is a fortress no one can breach. Most people think that success comes from doing, from moving, from acting without hesitation. But life's quiet tests reveal a deeper truth. Observing is more powerful than reacting. In moments of silence, when the world seems still and no one is forcing your hand, the wise understand that every detail matters. Every glance, every word, every subtle shift in behavior contains information others overlook. Action without awareness is reckless. It scatters energy, creates mistakes, and exposes vulnerability. Observation, however, allows you to act with precision, purpose, and authority. It transforms waiting into preparation, and preparation into unstoppable momentum. Observation begins with focus. In silence, distractions are everywhere, but the person who masters observation can see clearly through the noise. They notice patterns in behavior, subtle signals in the environment, and inconsistencies that reveal hidden truths. Others may react blindly to what they perceive, but the observer sees beyond surface appearances. They notice the intentions behind actions, the motivations behind words, and the consequences others fail to anticipate. This focus is not passive. It is active, engaged, and deeply strategic. By observing before acting, you give yourself the power to respond decisively and without error. Observation also teaches patience. Impulsive action comes from misunderstanding or rushing to judgment. But the careful observer learns that time is a teacher. By watching, waiting, and analyzing, you gather knowledge others will never possess. The silent moments reveal the unspoken rules, the hidden weaknesses, and the opportunities that only those with eyes wide open can exploit. This is why the quiet test is so effective. It forces you to slow down, to study, and to trust that the right move will come not immediately, but inevitably. Action without this insight is wasted energy. Observation turns patience into power. Furthermore, observation sharpens your instincts. The more you watch, the more your intuition develops. You begin to sense danger before it arrives, recognize deceit before it is spoken, and identify opportunity before it is visible to anyone else. The person who masters observation moves like a predator, calm, deliberate, and always aware. Every choice is informed, every step calculated, and every move executed with confidence. In contrast, those who act without observation stumble in the dark, reacting to circumstances instead of shaping them. Observation is the hidden force that guides action with deadly precision. Observation also builds empathy and understanding. By watching without immediate judgment, you gain insight into the perspectives, struggles, and motives of others. You understand why people act the way they do, and this understanding gives you leverage in interactions, negotiations, and conflicts. It allows you to anticipate reactions, influence outcomes, and navigate even the most delicate situations with skill. The silent test teaches that power is not only about what you do, it is about what you see, what you learn, and what you understand before anyone else even realizes the stakes. Finally, observation prepares you for the perfect moment to act. When you have watched, analyzed, and understood, your action is no longer a gamble. It is a statement of inevitability. The world may continue in chaos, the impatient may rush blindly, but you strike with clarity, precision, and confidence. Observation turns silence into strategy, patience into timing, and awareness into power. The quiet test is designed to separate those who merely react from those who respond with intelligence. And when you act after observing, no force, no chaos, no opposition can stand against you, because your moves are not just actions, they are calculated consequences of what you have seen and understood. Most people live for approval. They chase likes, compliments, recognition, and praise as if these external signals define their worth. But life's silent tests show the truth. Strength that depends on external validation is fragile. When no one is watching, when the applause fades and the noise stops, those who rely on approval crumble. True power comes from within, from a deep, unshakable belief in yourself that does not need to be proven to anyone. It is forged in solitude, tested in silence, and strengthened every time you choose integrity over applause, conviction over convenience. Internal strength does not waver because the world has gone quiet. It thrives in it. Internal strength begins with self-trust. When you face trials without the validation of others, you are forced to rely solely on your judgment, your abilities, and your resilience. Every choice you make in the quiet is a declaration. I am enough. I am capable. I will endure. Those who seek validation outsource their confidence to the opinions of others, but those who cultivate internal strength carry an unwavering certainty that no voice outside themselves can shake. This self-trust becomes the foundation for every action, every decision, and every success, creating a form of power that cannot be borrowed, stolen, or undermined. Silence amplifies the importance of internal strength because it strips away the distractions of recognition. Without applause, awards, or acknowledgement, most people doubt themselves. They feel invisible, unimportant, and defeated. But the internally strong see this silence not as emptiness but as opportunity, a space to develop courage, patience, and resilience. They understand that the ultimate victory is not in winning the approval of others, but in mastering themselves. Every quiet moment becomes a forge, shaping a character that no external force can erode. Internal strength also frees you from the influence of others. When you no longer seek validation, you are immune to manipulation, criticism, and peer pressure. You are guided by your own principles, priorities, and vision. This freedom is powerful because it allows you to act strategically, without the need to impress or appease anyone. You move in the world with focus and intent, knowing that your path is yours alone. The silent test is a lesson in independence. It teaches that those who rely on themselves and only themselves cannot be shaken by the opinions, distractions, or judgments of the crowd. Moreover, internal strength builds resilience. When the world tests you quietly, it often leaves you feeling unseen, unrecognized, and undervalued. Those who depend on external validation succumb to frustration, doubt, and despair. But those who cultivate internal power know that their value is inherent, not conferred by others. They endure, persist, and continue growing, even when no one notices. This resilience is what allows them to survive the silent battles and emerge stronger, wiser, and more prepared than those who constantly seek approval from others. Finally, internal strength ensures lasting confidence and influence. When your power comes from within, it does not fluctuate with circumstances or opinions. You become unshakable, focused, and purposeful. Others may recognize it, or they may not, but recognition is irrelevant. What matters is that you have conquered the most critical challenge, mastering yourself. In the silent tests of life, external validation fades, but internal strength endures. It is the quiet force that moves mountains, withstands storms, and allows you to win every battle without needing to prove anything to anyone. Knowing when to act is as important as knowing how to act. The silent test is not about constant movement. It is about preparation, observation, and restraint. Too many people expend their energy on endless action, reacting to every challenge as it comes, only to realize they have squandered their power. But those who endure the quiet understand that timing is everything. Victory does not belong to the loudest, the fastest, or the most desperate. It belongs to the one who waits, watches, and then moves with precision. When the moment arrives, hesitation is a luxury you cannot afford, and readiness is your weapon. Striking at the right moment requires patience and foresight. You have observed, you have endured, and you have strengthened yourself internally. Every quiet day, every silent challenge, every moment of restraint has been a rehearsal for the moment you act. Life's silent tests are preparing you to unleash your full potential when the time is right. Acting too early wastes power. Acting too late risks missing opportunity. But when you strike after the preparation is complete, your impact is decisive. Your timing transforms your action from ordinary to unstoppable, from effortful to inevitable. Striking is also a test of courage. The quiet moments can lull you into complacency or doubt, but the internally strong know that fear is the final threshold. When your time comes, you must act boldly, without hesitation, and without overthinking. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the ability to move forward despite it. The silent trials of life have been forging your courage in hidden fires, and now, in the moment of action, it becomes visible. Every step you take, every move you make, carries the weight of preparation, focus, and unwavering resolve. Precision is born from restraint. By observing, waiting, and strengthening yourself in silence, you ensure that your strike is not random or wasted. It lands exactly where it is needed with maximum effect. Acting impulsively leads to mistakes, missed opportunities, and regret. Acting prematurely may alert your opponents or waste your strength. But the one who masters silence, patience, and composure acts like a force of nature, quiet, deliberate, and unstoppable. The world may never see the preparation behind the moment, but it will feel the power of the strike. Striking when your time comes also ensures that victory is sustainable. Those who rush in without preparation may achieve temporary wins, but their success is often fleeting, fragile, and dependent on luck or chaos. The one who strikes at the perfect moment, however, has built their triumph on strategy, observation, and self-mastery. It is a victory that no circumstance, no rival, and no challenge can undermine. The silent preparation creates results that last because the foundation of the action is not chaos. It is deliberate, calculated, and disciplined. Finally, striking at the right moment transforms struggle into triumph. The silent test, the quiet challenges, the moments of doubt, they are all meaningless if you fail to act when your moment arrives. Action is the culmination of all you have endured, observed, and cultivated. It is the expression of your internal strength, your patience, your composure, and your wisdom. When you strike at the right time, you do not simply survive, you win. You move with inevitability, leaving no doubt, no hesitation, and no question that your preparation, endurance, and strength have brought you to this victorious moment. The silent battle is over, but your triumph echoes louder than any noise ever could. So now you know, silence is not empty, patience is not weakness, composure is not submission, observation is not hesitation, internal strength is not arrogance, and striking at the right moment is not luck. It is mastery. The world may test you quietly, it may push you into stillness, it may leave you wondering if anyone sees, if anyone cares, if anyone notices. But this is your proving ground. This is where you are forged, where your power is refined, where your spirit becomes unshakable. Remember this, the silent battles are not meant to break you. They are meant to build you. They are the fires that shape leaders, the shadows that reveal warriors, the stillness that teaches champions. If you learn to endure, to watch, to trust yourself, and to move with precision, nothing in this world can stop you. Not the doubt of others, not the pressure of circumstance, not the storms of life. So embrace the silence, harness the patience, command your composure, observe with clarity, strengthen yourself from within, and when your moment comes, strike with confidence, strike with purpose. Strike knowing that all the quiet, all the waiting, all the preparation has led to this exact. Second, because the truth is this, life will always test you, but only the disciplined, the resilient, and the prepared win. Only those who endure the silent battle emerge victorious. And when you do, the world will finally see, not because you shouted, not because you demanded attention, but because your quiet mastery speaks louder than any words ever could.